Various different synagogues. We're a community over here that's exploring life of great rabbis, and we explore different communities. We're in Lebanon territory today. I want to speak about the famous Magen Avraham synagogue, or Magen Avraham synagogue, that was very much in Lebanon, I think downtown Beirut to be precise, in the Jewish district of Wadi Abu Jamil. Obviously it's an Orthodox synagogue, and also known as a Bet, Knesset, Magen Avraham, respectively, over here. We're going to explore a few highlights in regards to the famous synagogue. Obviously, it was a synagogue following the Sephardic liturgy. I think the synagogue was operating, especially between the years 1925 to 1982. The ruins was between 1982 to 2009. And since 2014, I think the synagogue is currently running. Now, friends, I'm not too sure how many people live in Lebanon nowadays. I mean Jewish people. That'd be quite interesting. I think the governing body itself is the Lebanese Jewish Community Council. Apparently, in recent times, it is up and running. And I think it's the architect happened to be a man of the name Bindo Manham. It's a synagogue architecture, and the style of the synagogue is the terminology used is rund bog instil. Very interesting enough. Now, the founder of the synagogue was someone named Moise Abraham Sassoon. He was from the famous Sassoon dynasty, philanthropist society and rabbinic dynasty, respectively, and very, very well-known person in his time. And so, to a bit within regards to the history of the synagogue, first of all. So, as we said before, it was established in the year 1925 and was damaged by, let's say, there was a Lebanese civil war at one stage in time. So, it would receive affect damage, let's say. The restoration of the synagogue began in May 2009, and in August 2010, renovations neared completion. Finishing touches, I believe, was made to the interior building. Now, the Haaretz newspaper in, I think, Israel reported that synagogue restored to the glory and has been renovated beautifully. The synagogue would reopen in 2014 and was slightly damaged in the 2020 Beirut explosions. That's what's chronicled over. Now, Magen Avraham has a daughter synagogue in Canada called the Congregation Magen Avraham. So hopefully maybe we'll speak more about that in the coming minutes. We'll try to do that also. Okay, now, an older synagogue in Beirut was demolished in the year 502 CE by a great earthquake which destroyed several cities in Lebanon. Now, Magen Avraham was constructed in the year 1925 and named after its founder and benefactor, the son of Abraham Sassoon, Moise Abraham Sassoon of Calcutta. Remember, we've spoken about the Sassoon philanthropist dynasty, rabbinic dynasty of India, of Calcutta. It was on land donated by someone named Isaac Mann. It was designed by the architect Bindo Manham, and construction was overseen by Ezra Benjamin and Joseph Belayla. Now, the head of the Jewish community over there was someone named Joseph Fahi. He helped in raising additional funds to complete the interior. A synagogue was also used for Torah and scientific lectures, weddings, and other festive events. I think come with the 50s and 60s, 1950s, 60s, there were 16 synagogues in Beirut, and they were all full. According to a Lebanese expatriate who moved from Beirut to Paris, I think in 2003, the Jews at that point in time were entitled to the same rights as other minorities. A number of Jews was increasing even after the 1948 Arab-Israel War, by which time there were about 14,000 Jews in Lebanon. Come with the year 1976, let's say a year after the civil war began, Joseph Fahi would transfer the Torah scrolls from the synagogue to Geneva and entrusted to renowned Jewish Lebanese banker Edmund Safra, who preserved them in his, let's say, the bank's coffers. Most of them have since been relocated to Sephardic synagogues in Israel. Okay, now, although the greater part of the community had already emigrated after the 1958 crisis, it's called, and the Lebanese civil war, there were approximately 100 Jewish families still living in the quarters of the synagogue prior to the Israeli invasion of Lebanon. I think during 1982 there was a Lebanon war. Yasser Arafat's PLO forces and the Christian phalangists were situated in Wadi Abu Jamil, let's say leading to Israeli suspicion of there being Palestinian weapons in the quarter. And on the 12th of August 1982, an Israeli bombardment, let's say at that point in time, because of whatever actually occurred at that point, damage was done to the synagogue. The synagogue was abandoned. I think shells hit the building, and it left rubble and debris strewn across the floor. 2 marble tablets representing the 10 Commandments and a marble Star of David was also reported over to have been damaged. Dozens of Jewish families were among those displaced by shelling of the area, is reported over. Now, renovation. I think the renovation of the ruined synagogue began in the year 2009. The project's authorization were agreed by the Lebanese government, the terrorist organization Hezbollah, and other community leaders. The renovation, funded by $200,000 worth of private donations, also received a $150,000 grant from a Solidaire, a Lebanese construction, I believe, firm privately owned by the family of Rafik Hariri. Very interesting enough. So that we have to point out also. There was also, I believe, at one stage in the past, long ago, there was a decision made by the late former Prime Minister, Rafik Hariri, to restore the synagogue and surround it with a garden. By the spring of 2008, the Jewish, let's say the expatriates, expressed their desire to renovate the synagogue. They wish to proceed once stability with the Lebanese improved, within Lebanon improved. Long afterwards, the expatriates stated that the synagogue, along with the Jewish cemetery in Sodeko, would be renovated from October 2008. According to Bloomberg at that time, the Prime Minister Fawad Signori was quoted by actually saying, "We respect Judaism just as we respect Christianity. Our only problem is with Israel." So obviously the charge against that and the rebuttal, especially from me and from many others, will be no, anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism also. And I don't want to quote his name, Hassan Nasrallah at the time, who was a Hezbollah leader, he actually would welcome the renovation, saying, "This is a religious place of worship and its restoration is welcome." Also, Hussein Rahal, a spokesman of Hezbollah at the time, said his group also supported the restoration of the synagogue. "We respect the Jewish religion like we do with Christianity. The Jews always lived among us. We have an issue with Israel's occupation of land." So obviously the rebuttal is no, as we see all throughout, Zionism is anti-Semitism. Now, fundings were already received by a 65-year-old of the minute Jewish community, and someone named Isaac Arazi. Arazi estimated a synagogue would require up to $1 million for renovation. He managed to raise up to $40,000 for the project, promising more to come. The Solidaire Sal, a civil engineering company owned by the Harari family, had also given $150,000 to each of the 14 religious organizations that are restoring places of worship in Lebanon. That will be about $2,100,000 in all. "We help all the communities," said Solidaire chairman Nasser Khama. Also in Switzerland, a couple of banks whose owners were of Lebanese Jewish roots had agreed to provide financing. One offered a sum of $100,000, but Arazi declined to mention his name. The restoration was due to have started in November 2008, but at that point in time there was a financial crisis of 2008 that delayed those plans. Renovation started as other construction projects around the area are being executed, which was quoted over. Now, as of October 2010, the renovations need completion. Now, the Haaretz newspaper reported that the synagogue restored to glory and has been renovated beautifully. And the synagogue reopened in 2014 and was slightly damaged in the 2020 Beirut explosion. So we spoke about the Sassoon family, how they very much had an integral part within regards to founding it, especially Abraham Sassoon, Moise Abraham Sassoon. They were of Calcutta. And we mentioned in the series over here already various rabbis from the Sassoon family and various philanthropists. They were a wealthy family in Baghdad, part of the Jewish community over there. It was a family dynasty, and they were associated with finance, banking, capital markets, and the exploration of oil and gas, Judaism, conservative politics, opium, trading, and philanthropy. Their principal vehicles, the Sassoon and Co., and J. Sassoon Financial Group were domiciled in Europe, Asia, and North America. Very interesting enough. Now, who are the members of the family, of the Sassoon family? Just to add on a few extra tidbits in regards to them. Included David Sassoon, lived between 1792 to 1864. Just give me 1 minute break. Yeah, we're just exploring a few of the family members of the family of the Sassoon family, the rabbinic or philanthropist dynasty. And we'll call it a day. We're talking about the Magen Avraham synagogue over here in Lebanon, the famous synagogue over there. And more people in the family of the Sassoon family who we should point out. Sir Albert David, he was famous Sassoon member. The first, the baronet, passed away in 1896. Elias David passed away in 1880. Sassoon David Sassoon, he passed away, I believe, in the year 1867, if I'm not mistaken. There was also Arthur Abraham David. Solomon David Sassoon, he lived, and Sir Sassoon David, if I'm not mistaken, passed away in 1926. There's another one. There's many, many famous people. And we did about 4 or 5 videos. Frederick Sassoon, Edward Schelling. There was Sir Edward Albert, Rachel Beer, Alfred Ezra, Lady Rachel Ezra, David Solomon Sassoon, passed away in the year 1942. Sir Victor, and there was many more. David Solomon Sassoon was between the years 1880 to 1942. Rabbi Solomon David passed away in 1985, and there was Rabbi Isaac, I believe, also. So, friends, we're a community here. We're learning about great Oriental rabbis of yesteryear. We're learning about the synagogues, the different communities that came back in Sephardic areas. Please, I'm urging everyone to subscribe to the channel. We are nearing 7,000 subscribers at the moment. We're a community here. We're learning about great rabbis of yesteryear. If anyone's interested in watching any of these videos, please share these videos to other people. We also do tours of Israel. We do Daf Yomi tidbits. We do huge amounts over here. So please join the community. I wish you all a fantastic day here from the city of Bet Shemesh. Actually, to be precise, recording this at IKEA Eshtaol, Bet Shemesh. So be well, everyone, and learn more. We'll try and, if you look at the playlist of the famous rabbis, you will see all the different personalities and people we've actually explored the history of, from all the North African countries, the Ottoman countries, Asian countries, and the Spanish territories, respectively, over here. So wishing you all a great day here, just from IKEA, and take care, thanks, everyone, and subscribe. I'll leave you with it. I'll wish you all a great day, and take care. Thanks.